Post.
Stacking in my bag. Yeah, stacking in my bag. I like crypto grind. Currencies flowing, every coins on my mind. My coin base the upper, watch your numbers climb. In this damn fine, feeling so prime. Hustling these protocols, knows in the van. Emptying out my radar, I can't understand. Jumping on the wave, watch me move the plan. Holding diamond hands in this crypto land. Got my eyes on the prize, making moves like a king. Every transaction here, cash register ring. Ride the blockchain, we won't never be slow. In the world of finance, let the profit.
If you're holding real-world assets, utility assets, you are a bank.
Yeah, of course, we go over the news and stuff, but, we just do what feels natural when we be doing our thing.
We gotta get this money on. All right, y'all. What's good? What's good? What's good? Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in over here on YouTube. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. A lot of y'all be forgetting to hit the like button. Please don't forget. Let's make it a habit. Hit that like button on the way in. But what's good, y'all? Happy Sunday.
What
Happy
up?
Sunday.
What up? What up? There we go.
Yes, sir. All right. We back. So yeah, just a couple of announcements. So we do got that intro to crypto class in less than an hour. So for those that need a refresher, or if you're new, the intro to crypto class is gonna be in less than an hour. The link to get into that class is in the bio. So make sure y'all check out the link, get in that class. Listen, it's only $55. We ain't even taxing crazy on that class. It's only $55. So make sure y'all get in that class. A lot of y'all gonna regret it. You either spend the $55, find out this life-changing information to understand what's going on in the banking infrastructure, or don't spend the $55 and miss it. And it's gonna be the biggest regret of your life. For those that
answers
don't
to the test. You about to get the answers to the test, man.
For sure. Because at this point, y'all don't have a lot of time. Y'all don't. It's either you're gonna do it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's A or B. So yeah, make sure y'all get in that class. The intro to DeFi class is still going to be on November 30th. So make sure y'all tap into that class for those that need a refresher on DeFi or trying to learn about DeFi. The intro to DeFi class will be on November 30th. So make sure y'all tap into that class as well. So yeah, other than that, we do got a couple updates to go over. So we're gonna be talking about the Trump brothers today. I got a couple clips of them talking how I need them to talk. We're gonna talk about that. We gotta talk about Grayscale and Chainlink. We're gonna talk about how Wall Street just dumped $5.4 billion in MicroStrategy stock. We're gonna talk about VanEck CEO because he's talking about walking away from Bitcoin. And I got a clip as well to go along with that. We gotta talk about how strategy and Bitcoin supporters are calling for a boycott of JP Morgan. So yeah, we got a couple juicy articles to go over, y'all.
Right?
So
in the Aerodrome.
The Aerodrome, yeah. We gotta talk about Aerodrome. So yeah, we got a couple things to go over, y'all. So yeah, y'all go ahead and get comfortable real quick. We're gonna be on here too long because we got that class in less than an hour. So make sure y'all tap into that class. Send that class out for you. For those that y'all know need help, that's interested, let them know we're doing that class. That way they can ask questions. It's a live class. That way they can ask questions and all that good stuff. So we can clear the air about this whole crypto thing because people need to understand what's going on. So a lot of people don't have a firm understanding of crypto. They don't understand there's different avenues in crypto. Everything, not just Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, tap in with us so we can break that down for you. So yeah, let's start with Aerodrome because Aerodrome, we meant to go over this yesterday. Shout out to Cecil. I think someone sent him this in the Patreon. I think it was Alexis. Shout out to Alexis. Yeah. So, what is it? My bad, y'all. I don't know. My nephew texted me and said I hit my toe on the table. Like, is it broke? Like, you text me that? He screamed downstairs and thought I heard it or something. I don't know. But okay, y'all. So let's talk about Aerodrome real quick. So Aerodrome Finance got hit by front end attack. Users urged to avoid main domain. So let's talk about it real quick. For those that's in DeFi, you might want to listen up, especially if you know what I'm saying, familiar with Aerodrome.
So Aerodrome, which is a DEX on Coinbase's base, right? 400 million total value locked. So they suffered a front-end DNS hijack. So attackers redirected the official websites to fake phishing pages to trick users into signing malicious transactions. So the smart contracts are okay. So on-chain contracts, the liquidity pools, and the treasuries were not compromised. The issue is with the website domain routing, not the protocol itself. So the affected domains to avoid: do not use Aerodrome.finance. Do not use Aerodrome.box. It's compromised as hell. So use decentralized ENS mirrors instead. Aero.drone.eth.limo. So what you should do right now: don't visit or connect your wallet to the compromised domains, and revoke recent token approvals. Use tools like revoke.cash to remove any new or unknown allowances you granted recently, and do not sign any transactions from unverified domains or pop-ups you did not initiate. If you interacted during the incident, revoke approvals immediately, move your funds to a fresh wallet if unsure, and monitor your suspicious activity. And then follow Aerodrome's official Twitter, X account for status updates and new safe links. So damn. So basically, the scammers is scamming over here, fam. They making they making mirror websites, like they making websites that look official. So you guys got to just be careful. That's why I always say, like, if you're trying to get the official thing, go to X, go to the official X account for something, or go to CoinMarketCap. And CoinMarketCap is usually good with directing you to the official website or wherever, right? But it could be anybody. Coinbase could, for all we know, Coinbase could be behind this shit, right?
Literally. You never know who behind stuff like this. So definitely be careful.
Yeah. So you gotta you just gotta be careful. So
they be playing dirty. For all we know, it could have been Coinbase or JP Morgan behind Charles Hopkins split he just had the other day. So that's why he got the FBI on it, trying to make sure everybody know I got that contact.
Yeah. We're gonna find you. So but regardless, when you're doing stuff like this, just be careful. But the protocol itself was not compromised. So, if you're in the protocol, you're straight. It was just trying to send people that weren't paying attention to somewhere else. So that's why you really got to pay attention to these sites and what you're clicking and everything. If you get a message, listen, you're not going to get no text message from Coinbase, fam. You're not going to get no text message from Coinbase. You're not going to get no text message from your DMV. So stop falling for some of this stuff, fam.
Yep. My bad. I won't even sharing the article. Sorry, y'all. Okay. We'll go to the next one anyway. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it till just now. All good. Okay. So this next article, we're gonna go over. So why did Wall Street just dump $5.4 billion in MicroStrategy stock? So it says here that institutional holdings of MicroStrategy dropped by $5.38 billion from the end of Q2 to the end of Q3 2025, a fall from about $36.32 billion to $30.94 billion. So this corresponded to roughly a 14.8% reduction in institutional exposure. So this wasn't due to a crash in Bitcoin. Bitcoin was trading relatively steady in that period. So the article argues this reflects an intentional move by institutions away from using MicroStrategy simply as a proxy for Bitcoin exposure. So MicroStrategy became popular because many institutional investors couldn't directly hold Bitcoin easily. So they used MicroStrategy as a listed wrapper around Bitcoin exposure. However, now with more regulated and direct Bitcoin to crypto access like ETFs, custody solutions, etc., one of the main reasons to hold MicroStrategy is diminishing. So this signals This signals institutional maturation in crypto exposure. So firms aren't relying as heavily on equity wrappers. They are moving toward more direct structures. Yeah, it's a reminder that instruments are originally used as proxies or workarounds like MicroStrategy for crypto can lose appeal once the direct asset becomes accessible.
Jeez.
So the same dynamic could eventually apply to real world assets, tokenized gold or silver or other crypto native instruments that we talk about on the daily. But yeah, the drop doesn't mean institutions are exiting crypto entirely. Rather, they're changing how they access it. So MicroStrategy, they still had $30 billion in institutional exposure at the end of Q3. So for MicroStrategy specifically, because it holds a large Bitcoin treasury, plus it has corporate debt, leverage structure, etc., it carries more wrap risk than plain Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin retreats, Micro's corporate layer creates additional downside. So from a strategic standpoint, note that the evolution of access structure means that basically their clients should evaluate not just what asset they hold, but how they are gaining exposure. So be careful. Be careful with this wrap stuff over there with MicroStrategy, because that $5 billion is a hit. I don't care what nobody says. I know they got 30 billion more, but they lost 5. You'll never want to be going down. You know what I'm saying? They going down though. So I don't know. I didn't trust Michael Saylor from what I heard he did in the 80s. So I don't know why niggas turned around and trusted him now.
Didn't he post a picture of himself with the ship going down on Twitter or some shit?
Yeah, he sure did. That's why I wouldn't trust him. That's why I wouldn't trust Saylor Gang. That's just me. But I don't know. We'll see. So let me see. Let me read some of these comments. They have been doing that a while now. It's so bad. Even the Geek Squad, there's a fake web page who's scamming folks when folks Google search them for assistance. Just be careful. Oh, that might be talking about the Aerodrome thing. Aerodrome. Okay. Yep. Damn, yeah. So y'all be careful with that. That's crazy. Yep. Yeah. What up, everybody? What up, though? So I said BTC to 20,000. I don't know.
Jeez.
That would be insane. That would be crazy.
Went to 20K.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, no, that would be crazy. So real quick, let's go over Grayscale. Because Grayscale calls Chainlink the critical connective tissue of tokenized finance. So yeah, let's see what's going on with that, because y'all know I keep telling y'all Chainlink 5 a week for a reason. So critical connective tissue. So Grayscale, that's what Grayscale is calling Chainlink between crypto and traditional finance. So by this, they mean that Link's technology plays a core role in bridging on-chain blockchain applications with off-chain traditional financial assets. So they describe Chainlink not as an oracle, but as a modular middleware software that allows on-chain apps to safely access off-chain data, communicate between different blockchains, and comply with enterprise-level regulatory requirements. So this includes handling real-world data compliance needs and cross-chain messaging. So tokenization is key. So Grayscale sees tokenization, as the clearest pathway for Chainlink's value to shine. So they argue that most financial assets today are still off-chain. So for tokenization to work at scale, there needs to be reliable infrastructure to verify, feed data, and coordinate cross-chain settlement. Also, Grayscale points to Chainlink's partnerships, like with the S&P Global or FTSE Russell, as validation of its role in institutional tokenization. So according to Grayscale, the market for tokenized assets has grown rapidly from $5 billion in early 2023 to over $35.6 billion now. So this is still a small fraction of traditional finance, but Grayscale sees significant upside. So Grayscale highlights a cross-chain delivery versus payment pilot that use Chainlink runtime environment. So in this case, JP Morgan's Connexes, which is a permission payments network, Ondo Finance, which is focused on real-world asset tokenization. They traded a tokenized U.S. Treasury fund for fiat without the assets leaving their native chain. So this experiment showcases how Chainlink could coordinate complex cross-chain financial settlements. And I believe we talked about that before, especially we did talk about that with JP Morgan, Connect Season, Ondo. But yes, Link token positioning. So Grayscale notes that Link is now the largest non-layer 1 crypto asset by market cap, excluding stablecoins. So because Chainlink spans multiple ecosystems, and not just one blockchain, holding Link gives exposure to this modular cross-chain infrastructure. So they also highlight how Chainlink's economic model is designed to accumulate value, service revenue, and help support Link's value. So yeah, this is huge because institutional adoption. So if Grayscale is right, then Chainlink could be central to how traditional finance moves assets onto blockchains. Also, the infrastructure bet. So investing in Link could be less about a speculative altcoin and more a bet on infrastructure for real-world asset tokenization. And then you have scalability of tokenization. So the pilot with JP Morgan and Ondo suggests real-world use cases are already being tested, and it's not just theories. And then diversified exposure. So because Chainlink is not limited to a single blockchain, its token could offer a kind of broad infrastructure exposure across chains. And then long-term growth. So if tokenized assets really scale beyond the $35 billion that we're at today, demand for Chainlink's middleware could grow substantially. Wow. Chainlink, 5 a week. If you could do more, do more. But I'm trying to, cater to the check people. 5 a week. Chainlink. Even if you only can get 5, get some. Because I'm telling you, that's going to be one of them assets where you be happy if you got 5 or 10, 20 or 30, 40 or 100 of them. You're going to be happy as hell you got a couple of them. That's all I'm saying. So I'm saying Chainlink ain't nothing to play with.
Chainlink going to be the reason why some people get rich for sure. because when you're dealing with blockchain, and you dealing with, data, when you're just dealing with data in general, that shit right there is the shit. Like, why do you think?
That's all everything is about right now. Everything that's happening, like a lot of it is over data.
Like when you go on TikTok, when you go on YouTube, when you go on, any of these websites, they want your cookies. They're talking about your cookies and you can reject them or whatever. That's your data. That's your data, man. Like that's them tapping into like, okay, what do you messing with us? We're gonna see what you like. We're gonna see what you cater to, and we're gonna cater to your needs and stuff like that. Why you think when you type something in, all of a sudden you seeing ads for it everywhere, right? Or you're talking about it, you see ads for it. They tapping into your data. But I will say we adhere to it. We opt into this shit. So if you read the terms and conditions, the data.
Be careful what you hit and accept on. Somebody said just from 100 link. Listen, guys, if you can hold long enough, yes. Think about it. Think about it. Bitcoin went to 6 figures because it was just the first cryptocurrency. Okay, we're moving to institutionalized crypto. So we're moving to utility, and we're going to start utilizing these technologies now. The usage of these technologies is what will boost the price. So if you can stick around for that transition to using these technologies in our day-to-day lives in the financial system, then yes, 100 link you'll be doing pretty well in a couple years if you got 100 link. It's like saying, that's like asking somebody in 2012, all I need is 100 Bitcoin. So everybody who held their 100 Bitcoin from 2012 to 2025, I think they're doing pretty damn good right now.
Even if you got 100 Ethereum.
100 ETH, you're doing pretty well right now with 100 Ethereum.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, y'all just have to have patience. Y'all want stuff to just be overnight, or y'all want it to be quick, or it just sounds like, oh, that sounds too good to be true. Okay, well, that was the same thing they said about Bitcoin. And I'm going to keep bringing that up to prove my point. Because they said the same thing to people who had the same conviction well before I did about Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. Same thing. So, yeah, you'll be doing all right if you got some patience. But if you just trying to get rich overnight and you know what I'm saying, you gambling on money you really can't afford, then, don't you shouldn't even be here, truthfully, because this is long-term holding. We're not traders. We're not day traders. Y'all trying to make quick money? Go over there to the day traders. Go over there to the people who trade options. Those are the people you need to be watching. But this is long-term. This is long-term. It just so happens that we're here now. the transition is happening. We're in the middle of the transition. So I'm not saying it could take 10 years, but we're here now. So, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows how long, bro. I don't know how long. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is we're waiting on the market structure bill to get signed. You know what I'm saying? But nobody has an answer to that. You know what I'm saying? I got a few sources. I know a couple things that I can't say on this live, but all I know is, bro, if you got some crypto, if you invested into this infrastructure, you're going to be you're going to do well here in the coming from here on out. You're going to do very well from here on out. If not, you know what I'm saying? I pray for you. God bless you. Because people who don't got crypto going to be pretty pissed off at themselves for not
for doubting it, yo. You know how many people there's so many people that's doubting this stuff, fam. There's so many people that's doubting this stuff is ridiculous.
But just to be on the safe side, so that I can so that we not sounding crazy, just set yourself up for the 2030 agenda. So go ahead and just say 4 years, because this year is over. So 4 years, 2030. Go ahead and be setting yourself up for the 2030 agenda. That's the best advice I can give people, because you haven't done the research. Because if you asking me questions like how long and just 100 link, you ask me questions like that, you need to do a little bit more research, because your conviction not all the way there, because you haven't done enough research. So I'm a highly suggest to go do more research. And I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I'm saying that because that's literally what you need to do, so you can understand what's going on. That's part of the reason why we're doing that intro to crypto class today, because a lot of y'all need to understand what's really transpiring here and the infrastructure and what's really happening with the global financial system and the opportunity that you have. That is why we're doing that class today. So I highly suggest maybe getting into that class, or if you want to go off on your own, to each its own, go do that. If you want to go off on your own and do it, but that's why we're doing that class. That is why, because a lot of people not having a clear understanding of what's really going on here. A lot of people thought they was gonna get rich yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But yesterday was just a final ISO date.
That was it.
But yeah, it was just a final ISO date. So, but it's all good. It's all good. We gotta move on because we ain't got too much time. Strategy. So Strategy and Bitcoin supporters are calling for a boycott of JP Morgan. JP Morgan, yes, they are calling for a boycott.
Boycott. I mean, they tied up in all that bullshit. JP Morgan and them.
Yeah, so I've been we should have been boycotting JP Morgan a long time ago. Y'all should have been pulling y'all deposits out of there. So y'all just thought it was a flex to say you bank at Chase. That ain't no damn flex. You look crazy. They using your money to do a whole bunch of illegal stuff that I'm sure you wouldn't agree your money being tied up in. But because your ass want to put, even I'm talking to the rich people too, you want to put your little hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars over there with them, and that's what they're doing with your damn money. It's some illegal stuff, some horrific. Okay, so y'all should have been boycotting Morgan a long time ago. But I'll go ahead and get to the article. So what sparked the backlash? So there's a coordinated call to boycott JP Morgan from parts of the Bitcoin community and supporters of Strategy. So the trigger is that MSCI, which is a major index provider, is considering removing crypto treasury companies like Strategy from its indexes. This matters because passive index funds, which track MSCI, flow money into Strategy. So if Strategy is dropped, it could force billions in outflows. Oh, Michael Saylor over there scared shitless. So Bitcoin advocates with Max Kaiser, and they're calling for a crash JP Morgan and buy Strategy and BTC. So real world investors, and I don't know if I agree with that, but I do say crash JP Morgan. But real world investors are also taking action. For example, Grant Cardone's dumbass. Grant Cardone reportedly said he just pulled $20 million from Chase in solidarity. So, and this was on social media. So some are explicitly calling to divest from all JP Morgan banking or investment products. So he pulled his money because he probably got some investments over there with Strategy he ain't trying to fuck up. So why JP Morgan specifically? So according to the community, JP Morgan has significant influence over index provider decisions, or at least a central actor in these financial systems. So there's a narrative that JP Morgan backed research or financial positioning, it could be aligned with MSCI's potential exclusion move. So whether this is fair or not is part of the debate as well. But yeah, the financial risk to strategy. So JP Morgan analysts themselves estimate that if strategy is excluded from MSCI indexes, $2.8 billion could flow out. If other indexes follow, not just MSCI, that could go up to $8.8 billion. So that's a big deal because Strategy's business model is heavily tied to its BTC holdings, and part of its value comes from being a Bitcoin-backed structured company. Oh wow. So this matters because of the index risk and the crypto risk. So this shows how traditional financial infrastructure risk can directly impact crypto native companies. So even if you just hold BTC, the companies that back it are not immune to non-on-chain risk. So the Bitcoin community is not just hodlers, it's becoming more activist. So they are using financial pressure to boycott to try to influence traditional finance behavior. So if passive capital flows dry up, strategies like inflation could get hit hard. So that could make it riskier for long-term holders, especially if they're using strategy as a BTC proxy. And then a regime shift risk. So if big index providers change rules, this could set a precedent for how crypto treasury companies are treated in traditional finance. So that's a structural risk for similar firms. So the boycott also feeds a broader narrative for TradeFi versus crypto native. So if enough capital shifts, it could reshape how these companies are perceived or valued. Well, it just sounds like a bunch of rich people arguing and bickering and bitching to me. I really don't give a fuck. But I've been saying boycott JP Morgan. I have no issue with that. And y'all know I'm not really too big on Bitcoin. I'm actually looking at these altcoins and real world assets to decouple from Bitcoin. So yeah.
Check.
Sorry if my level of caring isn't there, but it's not there. What'd you say?
Check what I just put in the chat.
Okay, 1 second. All right, so JP Morgan, Citi, Morgan Stanley client data may be exposed by vendors hack. Oh shit. When this came out? Yesterday?
Today?
It said November 22nd. Today the 23rd.
23rd.
Oh, well, no. Last night. Well, really last night. So yeah
last night. Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, so client data from JP Morgan Chase, Citi, and Morgan Stanley and other major banks, may have been assessed in a hack of a technology vendor. And this was reported by the New York Times. So citing people familiar with the matter. Damn. So it says on his web. So what is it? Citus AMC said in a statement on his website that they had been subject to a cyber attack on November 12th, compromising certain information from its systems.
So it happened already. It
already happened. So that data, data related to some of our clients or customers may have been impacted.
Yep.
Oh damn. So that sounds bad. That's not good. Wow. And then they got the FBI. Oh, the FBI already involved. So they said that while we're working closely with affected organizations and our partners to understand the extent of potential impact, we have identified no operational impact to banking services. They are trying their hardest to prevent this bank run. They are like, we got to ensure them that their money's okay. Because they are trying their hardest for this bank run not to happen, gang. They want to control the bank run. I hate that the people are allowing them to do this. I just be wanting to like strangle the earth. Cause it's like, y'all wake up. Like stop letting them do stuff on their time. We could really disrupt the whole agenda if y'all would just wake the fuck up. And we don't even need all y'all to wake up. We just need a good 30 to 40% of y'all to wake up. And is it really gonna take that many? Maybe 20 to 30% of y'all to wake up and go take your money out of the bank. And
it's not gonna that'll be enough.
System. Y'all understand that? It would disrupt everything. But y'all niggas is scary. I hate that shit. Y'all so damn scary.
Yeah.
Timing of all this is interesting. Yeah, it is.
You gotta remember the same people that understand the food is poison still eating the food.
Yeah.
What else we got?
But that's different though. Cause what else we going? Cause I know that shit too. But it's like, well, shit.
No. But I'm saying like that could make, you know, if you're not on that same frequency and you can't fight it, you just gonna capitulate. You just gonna be like, all right, whatever. I don't even care. Most people just not gonna care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about VanEck real quick because we don't got a lot of time. I'm Money Talks. I'm checking the DM right now. Hold on, cause no, I'm not still there.
Right, said be waiting in the drive-through. Yeah. You see him?
Yeah. So yeah. So VanEck CEO concerned about Bitcoin's encryption and privacy.
Ooh.
It says
I want to hear about this because he's talking about they were trying to run away.
Yeah, and they said their firm could walk away. Yes. Yeah, and I have a clip to play along with that, so I'll go over this first, and then I'll play that clip. But yeah, VanEck is making sure y'all know. Okay, here we go. So what VanEck CEO is saying. So he has concerns about Bitcoin's encryption and privacy. So Jan VanEck publicly questioned whether Bitcoin has enough encryption and enough privacy. He pointed out that the Bitcoin ledger is transparent. When you move money around the Bitcoin blockchain, you can see it. You can see it move from one wallet to another. So because of these concerns, some long-term Bitcoin holders, according to him, are now looking more closely at Zcash, which he describes as sort of related to Bitcoin, but with a lot more privacy. Yeah, so quantum risk. It sounds like he's trying to pump Zcash a little bit, but I'm gonna give him a pass for right now.
Well, Zcash ran to 600. Remember,
yeah, it did run up. So we got quantum risk. So VanEck top part of is concerned to quantum computing. So suggesting that advances in quantum computers could break or weaken Bitcoin's current cryptographic security. So he's effectively evaluating Bitcoin's future, not just on current market conditions, but on long-term technological risks. So walking away is on the table. He said that VanEck could walk away from Bitcoin if they believe the foundational thesis of Bitcoin is fundamentally broken. So right now he claims they don't think that thesis is broken, but they are watching the underlying technology and crypto more broadly. So in his own words, VanEck evaluates Bitcoin like any traditional asset. So if the technology underpinning crypto fails, they could exit. Damn. He might be doing y'all a bomb game, trying to tell y'all something. So some technologists and researchers agree with his concerns. For example, quantum computing experts are sounding alarms about the longevity of cryptography. But there's also sharp pushback from Bitcoin Maximus, which is y'all know that's OG Bitcoin advocates, who argue that questioning Bitcoin's core model is misguided. So one particularly strong reaction came from Samson Mao, who said on X, "You're a crypto god, stay in your lane and push the latest shitcoin narrative." Y'all see how Bitcoin people be responding though? Like, what? Yeah. They be tripping over there, gang. They just as bad as the XRP army. So VanEck's public positioning. So after so I'm gonna actually play a clip because this is a CNBC interview. So VanEck posted on X about three main drivers for his concern. So that is the on-chain reality of the halving cycle. So he expects a bear market toward 2026. Quantum break risk to encryption. And then the superior privacy of Zcash, which he sees as a real alternative. He's also reiterated VanEck's strategy advice, which is to dollar cost average into Bitcoin during bear markets for their portfolio manager. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play the clip.
Okay.
I definitely disagree with his bear market theory. Going into 2026. I think niggas be forgetting that we are waiting on a market structure bill that they are going to be voting on soon. So y'all might want to tread lightly. But some of y'all are y'all conviction a little.
It's sort of one of the fundamentals. Now, there's something else going on within the Bitcoin community that kind of non-crypto people need to know about. And that is ultimately, VanEck has been around before Bitcoin. We will walk away from Bitcoin if we think the thesis is fundamentally broken. We don't right now. But you always have to look at the underlying technology. And the Bitcoin community has been asking itself about, is there enough encryption in Bitcoin? Because quantum computing is coming. And then secondly, is there enough privacy in Bitcoin? And so a lot of Bitcoin OGs or maxis have been looking at Zcash. And Zcash,
what's that?
Zcash is a token that's sort of related to Bitcoin with a lot more privacy. Because the kind of garbage that we got about Bitcoin 4 years ago is it's like used for all bad illicit behavior. But now everyone kind of realizes when you move money around on the Bitcoin blockchain, you can see it. You can see it move from one wallet to another. And a lot of people are looking for more privacy.
What's that, Ashley?
What's that? Nah, these people that do. My thing is, I get it. Like you want your privacy, but some of y'all just doing illegal shit, and y'all need to stop doing that illegal shit. Y'all wouldn't be so fixated on what he's saying, but I get it. You know, it's nobody's business how you transacting your money, and Bitcoin exposes all of that. So yeah, that's what's going on with VanEck, and yeah, they talking about walking away if they find out some crazy shit. So yeah. Really, I just had 2 more clips I was gonna play with the Trump brother. So it's Donald Trump Jr. And what's the other brother name? Eric. So they're basically talking about they're ready to go to war with the big financial institutions. At least Eric is in this clip. So I'm gonna play this clip with Eric Trump real quick, just to show y'all why y'all need to be getting into crypto, and why the Trump family, because it's not just their dad, but why the Trump family as a whole is pushing crypto. And like I was telling D earlier on the phone, they got a taste of having to figure it out because the institutions froze up their money, froze up their credit cards. They got locked out of their money. So when you get locked out of your money, yeah, you're rich, but when you don't have access to it, you got to figure it out. And so for the first time, these rich little boys had to figure it out. And so now they've been crypto enthusiasts since those moments, and they are totally against the big financial institutions. They empathize a little bit more with the public, which is to me a good look. And I'm only talking about crypto, so please don't get in your motherfucking political feelings because I don't give a fuck. But they empathize with the public a little bit more because these niggas had a taste of reality, you know what I'm saying, of not being rich for a second, where they was like, they probably had to call their dad for help, and they probably ain't had to call their dad since they was fucking teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we don't have access to our money. We can't do shit. We can't do nothing. So that will humble you real quick. That shit will humble you. So, yeah, so because of that experience that they had, they are going, they talking about going to war with the big financial institutions. Watch what he says in this clip, guys.
We had to get into cryptocurrency. We didn't have any other avenues. We didn't have any banks. The largest financial institutions shut us out. And you know what's really interesting? Now they're all coming back and they're kissing our you-know-whats. Every single day, the very same people who canceled us, oh yes, we'd love to have a relationship with you. We'd love to have a relationship with you. Our financial system is so dishonest. It is so incredibly dishonest. And I would love nothing more than to see blockchain replace so many of these institutions that have been so punitive to so many people. Let me give
you heard what he said. He said he would love for blockchain to replace these institutions. I'm gonna go back and play that one more time. He said that they didn't have a choice. So when all of this happened, they had to resort to using crypto to transact and to do stuff, probably to pay bills, to pay for stuff. They had to go, you know what I'm saying? They had to probably hit up Coinbase and hit up Uphold and hit up all these exchanges to get money, to move money over. They had to rely on crypto. But listen to what he said. He said the
financial system is so dishonest. It is so incredibly dishonest. And I would love nothing more than to see blockchain replace so many of these institutions that have been so punitive to so many people. Let me give you one other secret. The people in our financial system who have always had the advantage are guys like us, right? Powerful companies with famous last names, with a lot of zeros on their balance sheet. They have been the worst for the average retail consumer who doesn't stand a chance against a traditional financial system. They have no leverage, they have no negotiation power, and they get feed to death. Crypto solves all of that. Blockchain solves all of that. There is nothing that can't be done on blockchain that JP Morgan Chase can do, that Bank of America, that can't be done better, faster, cheaper, and more transparently. And I think that's a wonderful thing for humanity. I think that's a wonderful thing for the people of our country. And I think that's a wonderful thing in putting real checks and balances on the very people who weaponize the financial system against people that they didn't like for political reasons.
You know what's so crazy?
They're telling y'all. That's their way of telling y'all. It's through his anger, but that's their way of telling y'all that this is what they about to do. What you gonna say, D?
Nah, I was just gonna say, like, you know what's so crazy? Nobody's gonna listen to him. Nobody's gonna listen to him.
Because of his last name.
Yeah.
That's why. That's exactly why they have Trump ushering it in. That's why I keep reiterating to y'all. And this is all political talk, so I don't care who you voted for. What y'all need to understand is the finesse that is happening here. Y'all think that y'all done outsmarted them because y'all think, oh, he don't like us and he's gonna do this and he's gonna do that. Like, the whole finesse here is to distract y'all on all that shit while they change the financial system over, and you miss out on the whole investment opportunity out of it. Now, I'm not saying that you need to like them for it. What I'm saying simply here is put your motherfucking wallet on the table and put your feelings in the fucking trash can for once and get paid. Stop being an idiot. For real, because it's idiotic. They are laughing at y'all. Y'all sitting here mad at this man whole time. And this is my theory, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I told everybody, I don't think Trump's going to give a shit after he signs the market structure bill. I think Trump had a 2-year plan coming into this. I think he has a 2-year plan, and I don't think he's going to give a shit about the last 2 years of his presidency, whether he fakes his death, they try to impeach him again. Whatever the task at hand here is for his last name to hold more weight and to be in the races with the Rothschilds and all them other people. He want to be up there on some power shit. He is getting ready to basically have he's putting his footing in crypto where this nigga, his last name will never go broke for a long time. It's going to take a very long time for his last name to go broke. He don't give a shit about the political side of this shit. And that is very true. And that's the part that be pissing y'all off. But truthfully, that's what's going on here. The difference here is y'all and y'all feelings about it when you shouldn't be, because the same exact thing that he's doing is the same thing that you could be doing, because this time you have access. This time you have access. That is the difference. That is why I don't care what Trump is trying to do. Do I agree? Hell no. But guess what? Who cares how Ashley feels? But what Ashley needs to worry about is her fucking bank account. She needs to worry about her bloodline. She needs to worry about, am I going to have anything to leave behind to her nieces and nephews? If I have kids, am I going to have anything to leave behind my legacy? I need to be worried about my wealth. That's what I need to be focused on, because the majority of the stuff that y'all be bitching about is because y'all ain't got no goddamn money. So when you for once can put your feelings in a garbage can when it comes to politics and put your fucking wallet on the table, then you can see things clearly. But y'all be worried about the wrong shit. Y'all worried about going back to plantations. Y'all worried about, like, I'm sorry to tell you, and I'm not saying I don't empathize with the ICE people, but that's another distraction. They want y'all protesting that and not paying attention to the global financial system and the transition that is happening. That is what is going on right now. Now, I'm not saying don't go help them people and don't protest. I'm not here to talk about that. But what I am saying is that it is a distraction, and they know that y'all will be fixated on that, and y'all ain't gonna be paying attention to none of this. You know what I'm saying? So get right. Put your wallet on the table. I got one more clip I need to show with Trump Jr. One more clip of him talking about it. Why is she so angry? I'm not angry. I'm passionate. I'm not angry. I just want y'all to get right and stop falling for the shenanigans, because it's like people are gullible.
My bad. You heard? I was on mute. You heard me. I said you're such a concerning and great auntie, fam.
You know, just want everybody to be straight. I want everybody to win. And it's like a lot of people just simply not winning because they can't comprehend what's really going on here on the financial side of it. And it's like a lot of y'all problems stem from financial problems. So what you think you need to be fine? If you got financial problems, I don't care if you're rich, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the problems you have is financials. You know what I'm saying? So if you having financial problems, don't you think that's what you need to be concerned about? Is your finances? That's what you need to be worried about, gang. Like, you need to be worried about how the hell can I get out of the rat race? That's what you need to be worried about. You don't like your job. You're not a career-oriented person. Okay, well, you need to figure out what can I do so I ain't got to do this every day. That's what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about how to get some money. If the first thing you wake up in the morning is not, if the first thing I think about, gang, I thank God for waking me up, and I think about some motherfucking money. That's just me. So I feel like at some point within the first 5 minutes of you opening up your eyes, if you ain't thought about no money, you couldn't be in my circle. That's all I'm gonna say. But let me play this clip real quick, and then we gotta go.
he did these things. The reason we got into crypto, and we're all in on crypto, and we're doing American Bitcoin, and we have World Liberty Finance and USD1, was because there was a time, and probably I'd been on this show, where there was I could call any single banker in New York City. They'd pick up the phone. I'd be able to get a loan for whatever real estate project I was doing across the street. Then we got into politics, and all of a sudden, they wouldn't take your call. Right. You couldn't get financing. We were debanked. And what I realized, and my brother realized, because we were the recipients of every subpoena imaginable, was that, you know what, we were actually just the top of this sort of pyramid scheme that we didn't realize we were a part of, that the financial system was totally undemocratized. Because we had a certain balance sheet and whatever, we could kind of do whatever we wanted. The regular guy was messed up. Now we were all of a sudden in the shoes of the regular guy that wouldn't be able to take advantage of the markets. And we said, what's the solution for that? The answer is crypto. These decentralized platforms where you're not beholden to this, where you create efficiencies. As a guy that did real estate, why am I paying points in and out for title insurance that could be done on the blockchain? So we got into crypto not because it was like, hey, this is the next cool thing. We got into it out of decentralized platforms where you're not beholden to this, where you create efficiencies. As a guy that did real estate, why am I paying points in and out for title insurance that could be done on the blockchain? So we got into crypto not because it was like, hey, this is the next cool thing. We got into it out of necessity. We got into it because we understood just how quickly we could be turned off, even as an incredible developer from New York City. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that we didn't change the skylight of New York City, but that disappeared in an instant. I mean, we're getting sued by New York State AG, $500 million fees for paying back loans on time with interest. These aren't, fair markets. There's nothing egalitarian about any of that. So we actually, as innovators, as people who understand these things, we went all in on a concept that makes total sense because we'd actually been the recipient of how quickly that can be shut off.
Boom. And that's why I'm sitting here. He's sitting here telling y'all to play, telling the public, because he's on CNBC. So this isn't some small podcast or some small platform. He's on CNBC telling y'all to play, telling him what y'all did. That's why he brought up World Liberty Financial. They're telling y'all to play. That's why I truly don't think Trump gives a shit about the last 2 years of his presidency. Because what he's trying to do, he's getting ready to get that done before midterms next year. Whatever he set out to accomplish, they say you'll get it done before midterms. And that's what he's trying to accomplish, and that's what he's going to do. The difference is, I don't give a shit what Trump doing. I got access. That's what I was worried about. Oh, shit, we can do the same thing. Damn, it's chess out here. Yes, Trump playing chess. Shout out to my boy KB, too. I wanted to read what KB said before we hop off.
Same thing.
KB said, passion comes off as anger to people without vision. Boom. Boom.
And they must be a newbie here. They must be a newbie here because
ain't
angry.
It's all good. I ain't even worried about it. I hope you got some digital assets. I hope you getting your shit together. I hope you're not fixated on the distractions, and you setting your family up. That's why we're getting ready to do this intro to crypto class. So we gotta hop off because that class getting ready to start within the next 8 minutes. So yeah, make sure y'all get in that class. The link is in the bio. We're about to run it up with this class. Shout out to the people that's getting in because y'all literally got this. This is, you know what I'm saying? We on last ditch efforts at this point. That's why we decided to run it back. So shout out to the people that's throwing that Hail Mary and that's getting ready to get into these markets while supplies last. Because I would say before the price go up, but while supplies last. Shout out to y'all. So yeah, y'all. Link is in the bio. Other than that, we will see y'all. See y'all tomorrow. We'll see y'all tomorrow on live. Appreciate everybody for tapping in with us on this beautiful Sunday. Make sure y'all like the live over here on YouTube for y'all lead too. All right, y'all.